Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 30 December 2021. Just about 27 hours until the dawn of 2022. This will be the last knife sale on the Apostle P channel for 2021. And we're going to go out with a bang. We got 33 knives for your consideration tonight. No twofers, nothing but knives. Just like the good old days. How about that? We've got fixed blades. We've got modern folders. We have one auto knife. And we have 10 traditional slip joint pocket knives from Great Eastern Cutlery. 9 of them from the personal collection of How About the Truth. Wow, we got a lot to do. So let's get the housekeeping out of the way. First of all, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. They will also be reprinted in the description underneath this video. Also in the description at the very top, you're going to find 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is to my primer for buyers video. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. If you are a new buyer to this weekly event, please be familiar with how this works. And that video will go a long way to getting you there. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're interested in using this weekly vehicle to move along some of your collection, that video explains how it all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the description, you'll see those 3 links. Then you'll see the terms of the sale. And then at the very bottom, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps and pricing. In the pricing column, number to the left of the slash is your price for the knife as shown. Number to the right as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. And there will be 6 spots this week for next day sharpening. So the first 6 knives purchased tonight to be sharpened will ship tomorrow, New Year's Eve, with all the as shown inventory. I believe that's it for housekeeping. Time to get the terms up on the screen. I'll be right back with the sale inventory. Here are the terms. All right. Let's get to it, shall we? First up, the lone leftover from last week. And frankly, this is a bit of a shocker. Not only is it a Spyderco, but it is a Spyderco in the special knife pouch. And the knife inside is the C249 TIP Swayback with the We the People blue anodized job. So here we go. This is the Swayback from Spyderco, and you are looking at the show side scale, blue anodized with the American flag and We the People. Blue lockside scale, stonewashed clip, 3.5-inch Wharncliffe blade, and beautifully mirror stonewashed CTS XHP steel, 4.5-inch handle. We got a steel inserted titanium frame lock. Early lockup, but not so early as to be problematic. Oh, I wasn't quite locked. There we go. That's better. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful washer action. Centering is going to be dead down the middle. Condition on this one is very near mint in pouch. These were available at your favorite web retailer for $283. They are out of stock, gone. We ran this one last week for $269, no takers. Dropped her to $240 on Sunday. It's still here. So somebody gets the We the People Swayback for $220, like it is, $240 with an Apostrophe Edge. Next day sharpening available if you're one of the first 6. That is the Spyderco Swayback We the People. Next up, moving into the fresh inventory. It's another Spyderco in my favorite box. The label is a little torn, but it says Para 3 FRN BK. So this is kind of a murdered Para 3 FRN. Check it out. Fiberglass reinforced nylon. Handle. Blackened. Deep carry. Ambidextrous. A paperclip clip. DLC coated blade. In CTS BD1 from Carpenter. Action is very nice. Lockup is rock solid. Well, and the centering, I'm going to call it perfect. Perfect as my 56-year-old eyes can see. Very light use on this knife. Coating might be slightly blotchy, but I bet you a little oil would take care of that. Factory edge, I'm going to call it unmolested. So very near mint in box. These are available at your favorite web retailer for $119, a minimum advertised price. This one can be yours shipped priority mail, all in $95. 95 like it is, $115 with an Apostrophe Edge. Next day sharpening available. That's the Spyderco Para 3 FRN. Next up, it's another Spidey. This one is the Para 2 CMO. This will be the Digital Camouflage Paramilitary 2. This is wearing a Casey Lynch titanium deep carry clip. The original clip is in the box. Satin blade in the new steel. CPM S45VN. Ooh, very free action. Very good lockup. Rock solid, you might say. And the centering on this one, we're going to say perfect. Very near mint in box. These are, of course, available when they're in stock. I think they are right now. Minimum advertised price from Spyderco for your web retailer is $155, plus what, $25 for the Lynch clip. So you got like $175, $180 if you bought this knife brand new. But you can buy this one for $130, like it is. $155 if you'd like it with an Apostrophe Edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That is in your inventory as Spyderco Para 2 Digi Satin. Next up, one of my favorite later model Benchmades. It is a black class knife. It is the model number 980 Turret. I kind of think of this as maybe a stylized Adamas with a little less weight. It's still got that super beefy axis lock hardware. Big old axis bar, big old stop pin, blackened liners, 3D machine OD G10. Deep carry parkerized Benchmade clip. Tip up left or right hand. Out of that handle swings a big old blade. 3 11/16 inches of CPM S30V. Standard Benchmade finishing on this one. Black thumb studs. Action. Super free. Lockup is very solid. I mean, there's not even any flex. And the centering on the turret, down the middle. I'm going to call this near mint to like new in box. This knife came and it went. It's discontinued. It is out of stock. When they were available, they were $195 web price. This one can be yours like it is for $160, or $180 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Benchmade 980 turret. Nice knife. Next up, we had one of these last week that was missing the box. This week we have one with the box from Hogue and Doug Ritter. We have the Doug Ritter RSK Mark 1 G2, full size. Box, pouch, everything. You got your black 3D machined G10. Raised boss for the pocket clip mount on both sides. This one is wearing, is that an MXG clip? And it looks like it's had a little owner satining done to it. The original clip is in the box, by the way. You've got your Hogue Able lock, which is a patent expired copy of the Benchmade Axis lock. We have a blade in CPM 20 CV. It is the Ritter blade. Nice, chunky stone wash. Blade length on the Ritter RSK is 3 7/16. Handle 4 3/4. An ergonomic thing of beauty, by the way. Man, I love the milling in that G10. Just gorgeous. Super nice action. Rock solid lockup. Centering, I'm going to call perfect. Condition on this one is near mint in box. Web pricing on the RSK is $160 at your favorite retailer, plus what, $20 for the clip. So you have about $180 in this knife, brand new. You can just buy this one. $140 like it is. $160 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Hogue Ritter RSK Mark 1 G2. Next up, oh my. I don't really need another one of these, but golly darn it, I wouldn't mind having it. I don't think this is a period correct sheath. This looks like a later model sheath. But what's inside is a buck 110. Squarish corners. Solid wood, not a plywood or laminated product. Blade with that old sort of lazy hollow grind. Tang stamp, which is 110 with 1 dot on either side, indicating the vintage of this knife between 1974 and 1980. Might have been touched up, but it's pretty much a factory edge. Got a couple of scratches, super fine hairlines in the blade face there. Rock solid lockup. Nice smooth action. Centering is going to be barely off to the left. I'm going to call it near mint with sheath. And because of the vintage 74 to 80, man, look at the tip on that thing. Beautifully done. That means it's a 440C knife. Your price on this one's going to be $145 like it is. $165 with an Apostle P edge. That's the buck 110, 1974 to 80. Next up, from K-Bar, we have one of the TDI series knives. Comes in a molded plastic sheath with a super strong spring clip. Inside the sheath, we got that little beauty. Some kind of an FRN handle. Looks like removable handle slabs. Crinkle epoxy finish on the AUS 8 blade. And that blade is 2 11/16 inches in length. Handles 3 3/4. Looks like about, what, 95 thousandths thick blade stock. Nice and usable. Thinly ground. Thinly ground. Not an expensive knife. You can buy these brand new at your favorite web retailer for $37. I think Amazon's got them for that. This one can be yours. Shipped, priority mail, $20, guys. $20. $8.45 of that is postage. So you're buying the knife for $11. Is that right? Yeah. $11.55 plus postage. $40 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That is the Bar TDI Investigator. Next up, we got a little run of Tops knives. The first one is the Tops Little Bugger. The Little Bugger comes in a, what is that, kind of a coyote tan Kydex sheath with a J-clip. Then we've got a brown or tan micarta, canvas micarta handle and a Wharncliffe blade. Blade steel on the Little Bugger is $10.95. Blade length is 2 3/8. The handle is 3 3/8, and it's kind of a hang the pinky out handle. Looks like we got a little fire steel divot with nice sharp corners. Nice jimping. And less than an 1/8 blade stock, probably about 100 thousandths. I see some black liners in there too. How about that? Pretty slick. So let's see. You can buy one of these brand new online for $83. This one is like new, no box. How about $60? 60. Shipped. Priority mail. No postage, no sales tax. How about that? $75 if you'd like it with an TheApostleP edge. That's the Tops. A Little Bugger. Next up, another one from Tops. We got a whistle with this one on the Kydex sheath with my favorite clip. I love the rotating Tops spring steel clip. Super effective. Inside that sheath is that, the Backpacker's Bowie. A chunk of 1095 steel, maybe 5/32 thick-ish. Kind of an acid stonewash finish. I'm not sure what that notch is for. Somebody could probably tell me. A saber ground, sort of bolo Bowie kind of looking thing. False edge on top of the clip there. Natural canvas micarta with white or beige liners, kind of hard to tell. Nice, very nice in hand. I mean, locks in tight, beautiful. Let's see. Blade length 4 7/16, handle 4 inches. You know, web listings say that is green canvas, or it's not. It looks like natural canvas to me. I don't see any green in that, but anyway. Let's see. Buy one of these brand new at your favorite web retailer. You're going to pay $105. This one can be yours for $75. Like new, no box. With the Kydex sheath and the whistle. Let's see. $75 like it is. $95 sharpened. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. The Tops Backpackers Bowie. Next up. Oh, guys. From Spartan Blades, the Elite Grade series, we have a Pallas with the black aluminum handle and the stonewash blade. The Pallas is a very cool knife. Hard anodized black aluminum handle. Button lock. And it's riding on GTC alpha bearings. Whatever that means. Whoops. Flips better than I do. Very hydraulic. Beautiful blade centering. Spartan clip. Lockup is rock solid. You saw the action. Centering's perfect. Blade length is 3 11/16. Handle is 5 1/8. It is like new in box. I think these are about $285. Brand new, $290. This one can be yours. Shipped priority mail, $240 like it is. $260 with my edge on that S35 blade. That's the Spartan Pallas. Next up, from Giant Mouse, Jens Anso and Jesper Voxness We have a giant mouse model I haven't seen. This is the Clyde. Little OD canvas micarta affair with a deep carry wire clip. Orange anodized aluminum backspacer. Orange thumb stud, single-sided. Look at that. Little trailing point blade. Out of Elmax steel, 3 inches in length. The handle's 3 15/16. Would you look at that? Phosphor bronze washers and thumb stud deployment. You go, guys. And it is a super sweet little knife in the hand. I mean, super sweet. Little 3-inch trailing point. I love it. Lockup is dead solid. There is your engagement. Centering down the middle. Action is superb. These are $175 brand new. If you can find one, good luck. This one can be yours for $140, like it is. $165 with an Apostle P edge. And I'm going to call it Like New No Box. The Giant Mouse Clyde. Next up, here's another one from Giant Mouse. Kind of an entry-level priced knife, but this one's kind of special. This is the Giant Mouse Ace Iona, but this one doesn't have FRN scales. It's got deep crimson red, hard anodized aluminum scales, reversible deep carry wire clip, M390 blade, 2 7/8 inches in length, just a gorgeous drop point. Stainless steel liner lock, beautifully engaged, rock solid lockup. The blade length is 2 7/8. The handle is 4 1/16. This is another knife on phosphor bronze washers with thumb stud deployment. Who would buy that? Lots of people, that too. I believe they ran these only one time in red. May never see them again. It is like new in the box, by the way. Centering is down the middle. Everything's squared away. How about $100 for this one, guys? $100 like it is. $125. I sharpen that M390 blade. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Giant Mouse Ace Iona Red. Next up, well, if we're going to have a Giant Mouse sale, we probably ought to have an Ace Biblio, and we do. This one wearing gorgeous black canvas micarta scales. Man, the way that these crown scales sanded out is just stunning. Yeah. You've got the deep carry wire clip, a reversible left or right hand tip up. We have a flipper. We got an M390 blade. Great ergos. Man, that is a nice knife, just built to slice, almost like something Spyderco might make. Centering is going to be dead. Lockup is rock solid. There's your engagement. You saw the action. It's all there. Like new in box. They are out of stock. When they were available, they were $185 online. This one can be yours. Shipped priority mail, like new in the box, $160. $160. And then $185. You'd like it with my edge on it. That's the Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. Next up, from Maniago Knife Makers, MKM, we have one of theirs I haven't seen. It's the Clap, CLAP. This is wearing Santos wood scales, and it is gorgeous with that Maniago milling. Blue titanium pocket clip. And backspacers. Look at the polish on that titanium. Probably aluminum pivot collars, I'm guessing. This is designed by Bobby T. Bob Terzola. Can you tell? It has a 3-inch blade in Bowler M390 compound grind. Long pull if you'd like to use it, as well as the removable flipper. Gorgeous swedged spear, a little harpoon going on. Stainless steel liner lock. There is your engagement. It's rock solid. Again, phosphor bronze washers. And flipping action is rather stupendous, I would say. Action, lockup, centering, all perfect. It is like new in the box. Now, when my consignor bought this, he paid $199 from one web retailer, which is what they sold for. Blade HQ has them in stock right now for like a blowout $140 web price. This one, like new in the box and a beautiful example, can be yours for $120. $120 like it is. $145 with an Apostle P edge on that M390 blade. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the MKM Clap. Next up, from another Maniago knife company, Maserin Cutlery. We have probably their most famous model. This is the Maserin Nimrod. And the micarta handle is called Desert Canvas micarta. It's almost like a burlap. It's very coarse weave. Very slim knife for as big as it is. M390 is your blade steel. A big, broad 3 5/8 inch, sort of a spear point blade, I guess, or a drop or something. It's a droppy, speary thing. Deep carry pocket clip that should be reversible left or right hand. And it's got that sort of Maniago midlock. Very much like that Viper action. It's just beautiful. This one feels like it needs a little time to settle in, though. You need to open it and close it a few times. Once it's there, lockup is dead solid, but sometimes it just hangs up. Just needs to be used. It's actually not doing it now. It was doing it when I was setting up for the sale, but just new. Centering is a little bit to the right. Condition on this one's like new in box. Web pricing on these is $175 at your favorite retailer. This one can be yours. $140 like it is. $165 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Maserin Nimrod. Next up from QSP, Better Knife, Better Life. We have the QSP Penguin wearing denim micarta handle scales. Looks like we're going to have a reversible left or right tip-up deep carry clip. A sheep's foot blade in D2. 3 1/8 inches in length. 4 1/16 is your handle. Stainless steel liner lock. There's your engagement. Lockup is rock solid. Man, nice and smooth. Phosphor bronze washers and thumb studs. Man, there's a theme. New models running on phosphor bronze washers and deployed with thumb studs. What are they thinking? By the way, action, lockup, centering, all perfect on this knife. You can buy these brand new for $33 on Amazon. This one is like new in the box. And you can buy it for $20. Shipped priority mail. 40 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available. That's the QSP Penguin. Next up, from Drop, we have the Degnan Emrose, which is a pretty neat little knife. It's kind of a modified coffin-handled stiletto pattern with that sort of S-guard going on. Titanium frame lock steel inserted. natural canvas micarta inlays, the drop logo in the pivot that looks a lot like Chris Reeve logo. Got a titanium pocket clip milled variety. And it's a ball bearing flipper with an S35 VN blade. Look at that thing. That is so true to the form of the stiletto, isn't it? Blade length is 3 1/4. The handle is 4 1/8, so super efficient. Blade to handle ratio. There's your lock engagement. It is dead solid. Centering is going to be perfect. And the flipping action on ball bearings, stupendous. It's like new in the box. The price of these at drop was $150. This one can be yours, like new in the box, $120 shipped priority mail, $140 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. The drop Degnan Emrose. Next up, we have one from We Knife. This is the 2006 Alpha Gava with gray titanium handle, gray stonewash blade, and CPM 20 CV. All the goodies are in the box. Man, look at that. That just says, use me, doesn't it? The handle is titanium. The lock is a frame lock with a steel insert. Nice bronzed pivot. Cool titanium pocket clip. Little floating backspacer. This is a ball bearing flipper, and look at that sexy thing. That is one good looking clip point, guys. Everything acid stonewashed. The 20 CV blade is 3 1/4 inches long. The handle is 4 3/8. There is your lock engagement right where you want it. It's rock solid. Centering is dead. Oh, that thing makes a good noise, guys. It is like new in the box. These are out of stock right now. When they were available, they were $236 at your favorite web retailer. This one can be yours for $200. Like it is. $225 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That's the Wii 2006A Gava. Time to flip the page. Next up, I think this is the neatest knife in the sale, and it will not break the bank. From Boker Plus, I guess we have a flash drive. It's called the Boker Plus USB OTF Auto, so I'm not sure. Does that mean it's like plug and play? When you plug it in, it automatically starts to play the contents? Is that why it's called an auto? I'm not sure. OTF. What does that mean? Well, I think all flash drives are out the front, so that's not a flash drive. Look at that little sexy clip point. D2, 1 3/4 inches long with kind of a black wash finish. Even got a little fuller. That is so cool. Hard anodized black aluminum handle. Button effort is medium, soft to medium. Deployment is 100%. What a cool little knife. Little lanyard hole. Ideal for neck carry, wouldn't you say? Or maybe a detachable lanyard. That'd be so cool. Very nice. Let's see. These are out of stock, I think, everywhere. When they were available, they were $60 online. Whoops. This one can be yours for $40 like it is, and then $60 with my edge on it. That's the Boker Plus USB OTF Auto. Next up, now, well, if that was the coolest knife in the sale, this must be like the second coolest, I think. From Victorinox, we have a limited edition 2021 Alox knife. By the color of the print, I'm thinking it might be orange. And it is. That is stunning. That's the 91 millimeter long Victorinox Pioneer. Not just any Pioneer. It's a Pioneer X. Because it's got scissors. What else we got? We got that beautiful big spear point blade. We have the old soldier awl. And we got our normal tools. It is like new in the box. For the limited edition Pioneer X, let's do $70 shipped priority mail. And there's your 2021 engraved into the ID plate. 70 like it is 90 with an Apostle P edge. The Victorinox Pioneer X limited edition 2021. Well, did you think that was cool? I bet you're going to like this one then. From int'l, Savoy, France, we have a number 8 inox with laminated birch handle in red. Look at this cool thing. Would you look at that? The OP number 8 with the red laminated birch handle. Twist collar lock. A subtly clipped convex ground blade in stainless steel. Oh man. You talk about knives that cut. These cut. Blade length on the OP is 3 1/4. Handle is 4 1/4. Very nice in the hand. To lock the blade, you just twist the collar. Closing the slot. To close it, you line up the slot and you close it. You want to lock it closed, you can do that too. That is cool, guys. If you can find these, you're probably going to pay $35 for one brand new plus tax and postage. This one can be yours, shipped priority mail. $25 like it is, $45 with an Apostle P convex edge. You might want to do that, just saying. Next day sharpening is available. That's the int'l number 8, the laminated birch. Next up, here is a knife I have never seen one of. It comes in sort of a presentation box. There's a nylon loop for your belt for the kydex sheath. There's a beaded chain. It's a boot knife by design. It's the Bud Neely MCS from Boker. Zolingen. 9 carry positions for the multi-concealment MCS sheath system. Oh, there's a kydex belt loop. All kinds of stuff going on here, guys. And here's the knife. I bet it's a Tonto. What do you think? So there's your kydex, and then that's your boot flap thing, right? Stick that down in your boot, and then when you pull it back up, it catches on the rim. There's the knife. Ooh. Old school, guys. It's interesting. Flat parallel, her parallel flats up here, but still ground to a Tonto point. And then this primary grind is hollow. Black G10 scales. Faux photo C. Old school steel. 3.5-inch blade. 3 3/4 inch handle. Kind of reminds me of a cold steel holdout handle. Very slim for boot carry. This is like new in the box. Price on this one, guys, $95 like it is. And $120 if you'd like me to sharpen it. That is the Boker Zolingen Bud Neely MCS. Next up. How many coolest knives in the sale can there be? This has to be a contender. From Benchmade. Made in the early to mid 90s. I believe this is a first generation Benchmade AFCK. This one's been carried a little bit by an American soldier. It was passed down to one of his buddies my buddy and brother in Christ, who is a police officer now. This is an early model, and it is a blasted, sterile blade. I believe these were ATS 34. It has been to Benchmade once for sharpening back in the early 2000s, and I don't think it's been used much since then. Some of the parkerizing has been lovingly worn off that Emerson style clip. The stainless steel liner lock has very early engagement, but super secure. Action is very free and smooth. Centering is going to be slightly off to the left. Not much of a detent in these old AFCKs. But action is super sweet, and so is the lockup. I'm going to call this a near mint knife with a great history. Generally, when you see a sterile blade, blasted finish, that was a knife sold directly to an American serviceman from Benchmade, and they have a great discount program for soldiers. Very cool hollow grind on this knife, too. Very large hollow. Robust at the back and thinner through the belly, so the serrations are heavy. Super cool knife. 3 11/16 inch blade, 5 5/16 handle. Lots of real estate for the hand. Historic Benchmade. That's in your inventory is the Benchmade AFCK sterile. Your price $180 like it is, $200 with an TheApostleP edge. Next up, I remember this knife in prototyping because I saw it when I was in Ottawa, Tennessee. From Northwoods, we have a Fall Creek fixed blade in desert freaking ironwood. You got a cleaning cloth, you got a little decal, you got a pouch, you got a slip from traditionalpocketknives.com, and then you got the factory Northwoods slip, and look at this little gorgeous thing. Designed by J. Rao. Look at that desert ironwood. Interesting, the pins are stainless. The shield is aluminum. So the shield just kind of jumps off the page. You got your classic Northwoods saber grind with the heat treat scale left on the flats. Ground nice and thin. 1095 is your blade steel. 2.5 inch blade, 2 13/16 inch handle. A very Murray Carter handle, and oh, in the hand, it's so good for a little knife. Really good. We're going to say this is like new in baggy. Of course, they're out of stock at Knife Ship Free. They did not last long. I knew they would not. They're doing between $195 and $250 sold listings on eBay. Derek's turning green because Derek always said, Northwoods is not a fixed blade company. Every time I make fixed blades, nobody buys them. Well, maybe they just needed a touch of J. And you know, Derek, I say that with love. They sold like hotcakes. So, between $195 and $250 sold listings on eBay. This one can be yours in desert freaking ironwood for $195. And then $215 if you'd like it with an TheApostleP edge. That's the Northwoods Fall Creek. Oh. Next up, our first Great Eastern Cutlery offering tonight. This is a 2021 release. The number 68 Pony Jack, model 681221. We sold the identical knife to this last week, and we got another one. So the 68 is a boy's knife. It's very slightly swell-centered. I don't know if you can pick that up. All steel construction, so bolsters, end caps, liners, all steel. You have a main clip point blade on a cam tang. Walk and talk is very sweet. pen blade is not quite as sweet as the main. Let's see. These are about a 3.5 inch closed length knife. Take a look at your Cocobolo. Ooh, and that's a nice one. It is like new in the tube. And we're going to sell this for same thing we did last week. $135 like it is, and then $160 I sharpened both blades. And you do get the Pony Jack button. That is the GEC Tidute number 68 Pony Jack. Okay, guys, that brings us to the How About the Truth portion of tonight's video. Of course, it's How About the Truth, so there will be copy. We're going to read it together, shall we? Let's do that. Let's see here. Let me try to turn down the... There we go. All right. Please read at beginning of the knife sale. The first 10 years of GEC production from June of 2007 through 2016 were the most exciting times for traditional folders. Bill brought patterns back that hadn't been seen in over 50 years, with some not seen in over 100 years. Always in limited quantities, in 4 to 6 different handle choices, no two runs alike. This 10-year time period is the area of the Titusville Iron Works Tang Stamp, or TIW. Their prices are skyrocketing. Then in 2017, something changed in a major way. Bill ceased using this now legendary Tang stamp and used a new Tang stamp, carbon or CAR, on the smaller knives. Far fewer patterns were made each year with only 2 handle choices with huge runs, easy to find knives. The Titusville Ironworks knives were made with those World War I area Nicholson blade grinders and old double header machines. These knives will never be made again. With more hands-on experience, skill, effort, these knives have soul exactly like those made in the 1920s and 30s. These are the legacy years. I think we all needed to hear that. So, let's get into it, shall we? We've got 9 knives from How About the Truth's personal collection. They each have an index card with his copy. And guys, these are some special pocket knives. And I mean special. So, first up, a Northfield, number 152214EC in chestnut jigged bone. Here is the knife. Notice the diamond unexcelled shield. The gorgeous jig bone. Let's set that down and read. You guys look at the knife. I will read to you. This is the Radio Jack. Special factory order diamond shield gives away for Charlie Campagna. This is the only 15 ever made as a Northfield. All others are Tidute. It has end caps, not just bolsters, and a cap lifter and screwdriver. Satin with special blade etch, access notch in the handle, unexcelled diamond shield on a 15. 50 pieces were made. Try finding one. Very rare. Special rear tube label has the best message ever, written by Charlie Campagna. My light is washing it out, but you can read it when you buy it. Let's take a look at the knife. 15, so about 3.5 inches long. Main spear with the Radio Jack etch. Pull is a 6.5, maybe a 7. Walk and talk, superb. And there's your little access notch to get to the screwdriver and cap lifter. I didn't wipe that off. Dripping in frog lube. And it's also a 15 with nickel, silver, and brass, which makes it kind of rare. Alignment of the tools is beautiful. Condition is like new in the tube. Your price on this one, guys? $350, $350, and then $365 if you'd like my edge on that main blade. That is the GEC Northfield number 15 radio jack. Next up, it looks like another 15. This is a number 15 Huckleberry Boys Knife, model 153215. And it's going to come with the Huckleberry Boys Knife button. And this is what Steve says about it. The 153215 with end caps and a sheepfoot main with pen blade, steel liners in antique yellow jig bone, 94 pieces produced with hat pin. As with the other 15 with sheepfoot in this sale, they are the most sought after among all 15s. The sheepsfoot versions were made only in 2015 and 16, but the 2016 runs had the crown lifter secondary. These versions made in 2015 and 16 fetch more money on eBay than any other 15, generally between $350 or $300 and $400. This sheep's foot can slice clean through thick leather and other materials laid across a workbench like no other. So let's look at the knife. It is all steel construction, antique yellow jig bone. Look at the jigging on that, man. So there's your sheep's foot main. Satin, no etch. Now, there's a little strange spot in this knife, and that's from the factory. It looked like there was a little pit. I think the light's catching it. And this handmade knife shows that it was attempted to be repaired, which is kind of interesting. Pull weight on this one, all 7. Walk and talk, beautiful. There's your secondary pen blade. Again, walk and talk, beautiful. Tool centering is down the middle. The pen blade might favor the left ever so slightly. Definitely like new in the tube. Your price on this one, guys, $220, like it is. $245 for me to sharpen both blades. That is in your inventory as GEC number 15 Huckleberry Boys Knife. Next up, I got lots of stuff going on here. This one is a Titty-Ute, and you can't read that tube cap very well. My light is really messing with me tonight. What is wrong with this? There we go. This is a number 668214, a calf roper slim in purple sage jigged bone, which is hilarious because there's nothing purple about this. So this is a 66 calf roper, but this is not the Stockman that they ran a couple of years ago. Just a very subtle serpentine pattern. This is a jack. It's an opposite end jack with a drop point main, slim, so it fits down it nestles deeply into the handle. And we have a relief cut to get to the nail neck. Cam tang about a 6 pull. Nice walk and talk. Pen is a little stiff, but still snaps closed nicely. These are about 3.5 inches in closed length. Let's see what Steve says about this knife. The Titty Calf Roper Slim in purple sage jig bone looks more like an antique chestnut or something. This little knife would be a great gift for a kid or the wifey to keep in her purse. The quality is definitely there in the blade grinds and hafting, but the secondary pen on this knife, Steve says, is too tight. 61 pieces were made. Your price on this one, $125 like it is, $150 for me to sharpen both blades. That's in your inventory as GEC Titty number 66 calf roper, and then I put Jack in parentheses. What a beaut. Next up, in the How About the Truth GEC sale, wow, here is your tube. It's a Titty. It's a 92 Talon from 2014. That sounds interesting. Model 920114BE, which stands for bare end, in goldenrod jig bone. I'm going to set the knife out for you. And this jigging, my friends, watch it move in the light. Oh my. There, look at that for a while. This is the 920114BE bare end Talon in Titty trim with Warncliffe and goldenrod peach seed jig. And I wouldn't call that peach seed, Steve. Anyway, the 92 frame was first introduced in 2013 as the Eureka Jack. It's the first time the 92 pattern had been made in about 100 plus years. 2014 is the only year the Talon came with the Warncliffe blade and the bare end. I don't think that's... They made them in 2016. Anyway, this version was a huge hit and still highly sought after and very hard to find. 2014 Talons are very hard to find. This jigging is among the very best from GEC. Under any indoor light source, rock the knife back and forth and watch the jigging. It literally looks like it's moving. Only 52 pieces made. Very hard to find. Okay. So you got nickel, silver, and brass. That jigging is so stunning. You got about a 6.5 pull on that Talon Warncliffe. Stunning walk and talk. And the blade is going to barely favor the right side. It is like new in the tube. Your price on this one, one of 52 made in goldenrod jig bone. $195 like it is, $210 with an Apostle PH. That is in your inventory as the GEC Titty number 92 Talon bare end. Next up, I put that in the wrong place. Next up, we have a Northfield offering in the How About the Truth GEC knife sale. This a 773115 in old tan saw cut bone. It's going to come with a Yankee Barlow button. It's going to come with a knife. And I'm going to open this blade because you guys really need to look at this. And I'm going to read to you. The 773115 Northfield Yankee Barlow SFO for Mike Latham, CollectorKnives.net, with sheep's foot blade was the debut for Mike's Barlow. And this is kind of interesting because it looks like an all-steel knife, but these bolsters are definitely not steel. They are nickel silver, and I think the liners are too, because they just don't have the same sheen as the back spring. So, interesting. Usually you see brass liners with nickel silver, not in this case. The mighty sheep's foot cannot be beat as a sturdy working blade, not made for flesh, skinning, or some food processing. The sheep's foot can slice clean through the thickest leather and other materials on the first attempt. Most sought after on any Barlow is the sheep's foot. Rare and hard to find. This is the only year that the sheep foot blades came on the 77 Yankee Barlow. And they made 123 pieces in old tan saw cut bone. And interesting, we have the Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. And you can see, guys, that cut swedge is done by hand. That bevel is ground on those old manually set up Nicholson grinders, not CNC ground. A 7.5 pull, nice and stout. Beautiful walk and talk, and centering is down the middle on this one. There is your bone. Condition is like new in the tube with button. Your price on this one, it's not cheap, guys, nor should it be. Your price on this one, $425 like it is, $445 for me to sharpen that sheep's foot. That's in your inventory. Is GEC Northfield, number 77 Yankee Barlow, Old Tan SC for saw cut. Next up, same run, same knife. We got a 773115 in African Blackwood with button, and one of 73 pieces in African Blackwood with the nickel silver bolsters and looks like nickel silver liners, not an all steel knife. Sheep's foot blade, a 7.5 pull. Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Long pull cut swedge. Interesting on the 2015 77s. Long pull but no match striker. Walk and talk, stunning. Blade centering is very close to perfect. Condition is going to be like new in the tube. This is in your inventory as GCEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow ABW for African Blackwood. And one of 73 pieces can be yours for $400 like it is. $420 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. Next up, we have another 77, but it's not a Barlow. I love these knives. This is a Northfield 772215 Yankee Jack. So it's going to be the Spearmane two-blader in antique yellow jig bone and satin blade finish. Why? Because Mike Latham said so. Steve says, I'm going to open the blades and show you the knife. Let's see. Left-handed blade configuration. I'll explain. There you go. The number 772215EC, says Steve. Northfield Yankee Jack. Pattern Production Premier. Only Tidio gets the PPP etch. And we do not have it because it's a Northfield. An antique yellow jig bone with satin blades with etch. This knife falls under the unusual category known as ghost knife. Why? Because according to GEC's production totals, it does not exist. It does not exist. All of the other 77 Yankees are listed, but not this one. That is interesting. How many of them? We have no idea. So it's what, about 3 11/16 inches closed length? Spearmane, cut swedge, long pull, pen secondary. Coarse jigging. And look at that. Double line bolsters, plain end caps. Nickel silver bolsters and brass liners. Let's see what we got here. 7.5 pull. And the left-handed blade, I call it that because I'm left-handed and I get to open it like as designed with the blade opening under because the pen is behind the main. A 78, the pen is on the near side. Kind of the main difference between a 77 and a 78. Conditions like new in the tube. Ghost knife, guys. It's a ghost knife. Try finding a 77 Yankee Jack. Just try. And especially one that has 0 production total. Your price on this one, $275 like it is, $300 with an Apostle P edge. Next up, and this is going to be the last knife in tonight's sale. Oh. It is a Titty-Ute, and it is a model, come on, I'm playing with my light tonight, 835115LB, Tescosa, LB for lockback, and tortoise shell acrylic. I'm going to open this one up for you and set her down in front of the camera. Let's hear what Steve has to say about this one. The number 835115LB Tescosa Titty-Ute with faux tortoiseshell acrylic. Pattern production premiere with PPP etch. Patty's potato peelers. This is the only run of Tescosa lockbacks to have faux tortoiseshell acrylic. Rock solid lockup, even up and down. And he is not kidding. There is no vertical play. There is no side play. The lock tension is firm. And a beautiful little snick. Let's see, how's the centering? Well, it's dead. How about that? 75 pieces made with the drop point Skinner blade. These 83 lockbacks were only made in 2015 and 21 with no repeats. No cover materials were repeated. None of the 2021s share the same handles as the 2015s. Now, guys, there's something else interesting about this besides the 1 year of tortoiseshell acrylic. How many of you have even seen a drop point 83? I can't remember seeing one. Now this is like new in the tube. I'll tell you what though, there is a little fuzzy hairline scratch right there. I'm not sure what's up with that, but Steve gets these knives, he frog lubes them, he puts them away. That probably got shipped like that. Anyway, what a superb example. Super rare. Your price on this one, $225 like it is. $240 with an Apostle P edge. That's the GEC Titty-Ute, number 83, Tescosa. And that, my friends, will bring us to the end of the last knife sale in 2021. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Thanks for the enchanting copy as usual. How about the truth? That's all for this one. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at 'em, boys.